guys, welcome back to another chaotic video
about our chaotic lives.
Today we will be doing a Q&A. This is going to be part 1 and then there will be a part 2 later on. So let's get on into it.
Okay, so our first question will be, how many places have you been?
Yeah, so this will be a good way to know what countries we are talking about when we answer the other questions or other experiences. Together, we've been to Korea, Mexico, Bahamas. I think that's it. Korea, Mexico, Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then
I think there's anything else.
Separately, I went to Korea and by myself the first time, and then I went to Ukraine, Thailand, Belize, Honduras. I think that's all of them.
And then separately, I've also went to Korea for my first time by myself, and I also went to the Philippines and Taiwan, and I have been to Japan outside of the airport and outside of the Hong Kong airport, so I'm gonna count those.
Yeah, well, Hong Kong airport did me dirty and I got lost, so can't really count that one. But I guess you can count Austria for saying walking outside the airport, because I did. So then the next question is, what's the most memorable experience from Ukraine, which obviously is for me. We went to this party and it was really far out in the country, and at this party they had a lot of dancing, a lot of homemade beer, other alcohols, food, drinks, lots of music. We didn't leave there until it was, I think, 10:30 or 11. Which doesn't get dark there until 10:30, 11, so definitely it was really late. We didn't get back to our hotel until like 1 a.m. and we had to be up really early the next day. But I definitely think that's really like put you into Ukrainian culture a lot. They say that their wedding receptions will last till 5 in the morning, so Ukrainians party hard, really hard.
Yeah, it was a group trip.
So on the trip we had me, my mom, and then my grandma who lives in Ukraine was there with her husband, and then also with me and my mom came my aunt and my uncle, and we all went, and it was like a family reunion type thing. So
Alright, so our next question that we would like to discuss is travel tips, which is a difficult one because we could do a whole entire video about this, but we'll try and be very brief. So
plan ahead.
Yes, definitely.
There were many times where we would be like, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and we should do this together, we should do that together, but because we never like picked a day to go, we never actually ended up doing it, so we spent a lot of our trip in the apartment.
And honestly, also a lot of times we would stay up really late and then get up really late, so then you'd have only half the day to do something. So just make sure that,
don't go to bed at 3 a.m. like we did every night.
Yeah.
I will say that when we were there for the long period of time, like in Korea, we worked there, so our work ended at 10 something. So we never ate before because it started pretty early and we were always never hungry at that time, so we'd eat after work.
Which would keep us up really late.
After that, we would go do other things because Korea is always open.
Yeah, Korea's nightlife.
So we would stay out really late, but yeah, don't do that. Sleep well. Do what you want to do. Plan ahead.
Another travel tip that I would give you is always travel with your passport.
Yeah.
There's many times, like if you're in Thailand or so, they will ask for your passport and your visa to check to make sure that you're not going over your visa. Also, you can get discounts, but you have to show your passport.
Yeah. As an ID, a lot of times they require a passport. I will say, Thailand is definitely the worst. Make sure you have the visa, the passport, because, you will get checked, and they will, I don't think they deport people as much as they arrest people, and I don't think you want to be in a Thai jail, so definitely watch that.
So those are our 2 main travel tips that we'll talk about in this video.
And maybe comment down below if you want us to make a whole video that is dedicated to
preparing for travel.
Yes. And I think it will help a lot.
Okay.
So then the next one is favorite place in Korea.
This is so difficult to answer because Korea in general is a really, really awesome place, and it kind of depends because when we stayed there, when we went together, we stayed in Seoul, which is like the top, and then we also stayed in the bottom, Busan. So it's if you're gonna pick your favorite place that we stayed, we would probably pick Seoul because we had more friends there.
Yeah.
But Busan is, I feel like there's a lot more natural things to see, and if you have time to make friends, it would be like, you know, just the right amount of enjoyment.
Yeah. And two, it's hard because the first time we had both went alone. We had went with, like, I stayed with a Korean family, she stayed with a Korean family, and when you stay with Koreans and you do things with them and you go places with them, they don't tell you what you're doing. You can ask them, oh, where are we going? But chances are they're not going to tell you. You just go and accept it. Okay, this is nice. But because of that, I don't really know where I went, what it was called, where it was at. So I can't really help you much with that. Seoul, probably, I don't know. In Seoul,
There's so many great places.
Yeah. Olympic Park was nice. We got to ride bikes there.
That was really pretty. And it was such a nice day.
Yeah,
it was like a perfect
day.
day.
And it was really nice because you can, when you rent the bikes, you can ride it to the next stop and then lock your bike up and then get on the subway and then ride it and go back. So it's really fun. Obviously, Lotte World is one of my favorite places there.
But Everland is a lot of fun because it's inside of the zoo. So sometimes you can do like safari rides and stuff. Or the zoo is like really awesome. It's gigantic and there's so many fun things to see. They have hippos.
I didn't see the zoo.
They had baby hippos.
Everland was not a very good experience for me. I don't like Everland. The day that I went, it was freezing cold. I got on a water ride. My back was soaking wet.
But we went the second time.
No, we didn't. We only went the one day.
I thought we went with...
I only went one time.
You didn't go the time before? How did you get wet?
Because we were on the ride with the funny guy that was dancing and everything.
Oh.
And the water, I mean, my back and my pants were like completely soaked. It was so cold.
Fun.
And T-Express, which is the really big wooden roller coaster.
I tricked Emily on going and she threw up in her mouth.
Going down the hill, I threw up, and so Everland was not it for me. I'm gonna go with Lotte World. 100%.
I'd have to say one of my favorite places in Seoul is definitely the palace. The palace is a really fun experience. It's very beautiful. It's a really cool experience to experience their culture and what their life looked like.
To feel like you're back
ago.
in the old time, especially if you go there and you rent a hanbok and you
get
really
it for free.
You get
wear
it for free.
hanbok.
I think even regularly though, it's only like 3,000 won.
Yeah, it's
so
very
like
cheap.
$3. But then in Busan, there's a park that is called Taejongdae, I think, pretty sure. And you can go out and you can see mountains and cliffs, and you can go walk down to one area, which, if you're not in shape, I don't know if I'd recommend it because I was so out of breath. I thought I was gonna die. But you can walk down and then you can get to like Pebble Beach and you can go right into the water. It was really cold when I went, but Busan definitely has a lot of pretty things.
Yes, Cultural Village is fun. Alright, we're spending a little too much time in this discussion, so let's move on. The next one is, do you ever feel scared or unsafe?
To a degree, yes.
Sometimes. It really depends. So, we usually travel in Asia, where we are very...
A sore thumb.
Yeah, we're a sore thumb. Like, people can, see us from out of the blue because we do not look like them. Yeah. Therefore, I don't feel necessarily unsafe because I know if something did happen, there's many people who can see us. You're not going to be able to steal or kidnap a white person in the middle of Asia.
But there were times where... There were instances where it honestly was a little scary because, which I will talk more about this in another video, story time videos. But anyways, it was really late at night, like 1 a.m. We had missed our subway. We were trying to go to Jimjibang, and it was pitch black. There was nobody on the road, on the street. It was raining, and this guy would not stop following us. So in instances like that, definitely, you can feel more unsafe, but usually I would say they more or less follow you out of curiosity, or, they want to speak to you, or they want to do something with you. I don't really feel unsafe most of the time, but there are still times where it's a little creepy.
The only times that I would ever say that I've ever felt unsafe traveling is just the traffic. Having to cross the street is unsafe.
And Thailand is the worst.
But other than that, no, I don't necessarily feel unsafe. I mean, you have to take precaution. We are very attentive people. We pay attention to our surroundings, and we have practiced doing that.
Yeah.
So
I think, yeah, for the most part, just pay attention to where you're at, what's around you, who's around you. All very, very important, especially in like Southeast Asian countries, Philippines, Thailand. I'm not saying that to be like rude in any way, shape, or form. It's just those countries are more dangerous.
Yeah, they have more danger, especially towards tourists.
Yeah.
Because they're a little bit underdeveloped country, they do like to scam tourists or rob them and stuff like that. And it's not because of they're terrible people. It's just those situations are like that in those areas.
Yeah, so it's just something to keep in mind if you are young, if you are a female especially. Obviously, you're gonna have more problems. So just really be careful of your surroundings, and you can stay safe. There's always ways to stay safe.
Yes.
So then the last question is, what's the weather like?
Which I think is such a stupid question, because it's like, it really, because, okay, so when you travel around the country, the weather is different in many different areas.
It really is. It's really strange.
Korea has 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Thailand is hot all the time. It has a rainy season.
Yeah. So it really just depends on where you're at. And even in Korea, like when we were in Busan in June, I got left in July. When we were there in June, it was like chilly at night. Like it would get to about 63 or 64 Fahrenheit. And then when we went up to Seoul, it was getting like 70, 80 at night. Like, and it wasn't like that far apart. But for some reason, Busan was significantly cooler than Seoul, which is strange being that it's more southern. But so you could have really like differing weathers just between cities.
Yeah.
Like I said, Thailand's
so
wet and dry, not hot and cold.
But like again, when you say travel tips, that's something you should really take into account when you're traveling. You should definitely look ahead of time and see what the weather is like, even if you're gonna travel to like different countries at the same time. Like when I went to Korea, I also went to Taiwan and the Philippines, and then went back to Korea. So I had to make sure that I had the right clothing, because you can be in Thailand and it's hot and it's sweaty, you're sweating.
It's January and it's 90 degrees outside.
Yeah, then you go to Korea and it's snowing. So it's like you have to be mindful with what the weather is like when you go during those times. So you could just Google it.
Yeah, just be prepared, basically. Again, it goes into always be prepared. But yeah, so I think that is our last question for today.
This is going to be a part 1 and part 2 video.
Yes.
Be mindful of that. But yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope y'all
got some advice, maybe. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Traveling Southerners. Give us a big thumbs up. Comment down below what you might want to see in the next video. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Yes.
And yeah, that's all.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.